have sort of a love-hate relationship with this guy right now. I love so many things about it, but I've had all these little glitches that I hope most of it can be fixed in firmware updates. For example, the files transferring from the main camera into the bottom camera or modular that you get, which is also the battery, it takes forever. My suggestion is to bypass that whole setup and just go directly into the USB-C slot into your computer and drag the files off right there. But for me, that has actually caused a few other issues too. It has made it so the SD card is then unrecognizable and has made it so that I had to reformat the SD card in a GoPro of all things to be able to make the Action 2 read it again, and then I could reformat it for this little dude. Another thing that I'm hoping that can be cleaned up is the image stabilization in horizon lock mode. In low light, it's just not that great. And I hope that's something they can bump up or tweak a little bit in a firmware update. Keep in mind when you are using that horizon lock on this camera, it does really crop into the image quite a bit, unlike a couple of the other cameras that I show you here on this channel that let you still have that ultra max wide field of view while having the horizon lock on. I've really enjoyed this whole magnetic system. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if it's $500 fun, but it is very satisfying, and I've seen a lot of other people say that they enjoy that aspect of it too. I do wish that we could like turn it around, and when you put it together, you could go like this, boom, and have like a giant touch screen. You also have to keep in mind, depending on what you're using it for, when you are using it together like this, it's no longer waterproof because this piece here is not waterproof. This piece here by itself is. I do wish that they had found a way to make this rechargeable and to make an SD card in this with some kind of plug to keep this so you could use just this unit alone. Throughout this video that you just watched, the audio was pretty much on point. I didn't have to do a lot of bumping in post. Now in higher action sports with wind, the auto wind cancellation on this thing, well, there isn't an auto wind cancellation. There is an on and an off, and the on doesn't work that good. This coming apart like this makes this piece so small and lightweight. The whole chest mount works really well because it is much lower than other companies' chest mounts. So you can just snap it on there, and half the time people don't even notice it.
Oh, now somebody noticed. Oh, he's recording, he's recording.
Now, as far as the overheating issue we hear so much about, I tried it in 1080, I tried it in 4K 60, I tried it in 4K 120, and not once did this get anywhere near hot enough that I could see this being a problem for overheating. One of the biggest downfalls to this camera, which you need to be aware of, this bottom unit is actually an extra battery. Even though it does recharge the top unit, when you run out, you either have to plug it in and charge it, or you have to have another battery. And these extra batteries, the cheapest one is $75 a pop. There is not anything on the market yet. I say yet because who knows what could come, that lets you buy like a $10 to $20 pack that just goes onto the bottom. And to me, that is huge because a lot of the times when I'm filming, I am filming for long periods of time. One of these is not enough to get me through my day of filming. That is probably my biggest complaint about this. That is just something that DJI is going to have to come out with, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they do. Overall, I do think this is a fun camera. For vlogging, it works pretty well. It lets you set up in ways that are sort of creative and different because it is so small and because of the magnetic form factor. I think it's also probably good for light action things, but for true action sports, I probably would not recommend this camera. I am currently working on a video showcasing it for snowboarding, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It's coming soon, and I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you check out this video right there because I think you will enjoy it also. And if you can still find an Action 1 for around $199 or less, I would jump on it because I still feel that that is more of an action camera than the Action 2.